well known. This is not the greatest recording of the song, but here we go.
And she excused my wrongs with the true stroke. Shall I call her good when she proves unkind? Are those clear fires which vanish into smoke? Thus I praise the breeze where all through I find.
So much for danceable.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't meant to be dancing.
I know.
Yeah.
That was meant to be,
Sitting still and listen to.
Yeah.
no, even more in the background while a party was going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Easy listening.
But it's
Easy listening.
Yeah.
Elevator music.
Elevator music
Oh,
of the
no.
17th century. There we go.
Oh.
But again, the elements are relatively common. Fairly simple melody, fairly simple rhythm, 3/4, and you can dance to 3/4. So it's
a
not.
little more complicated than the net
It's a little more complicated than
But
the
not
other,
much.
but still, you could walk out of the room humming that to yourself. Personally, if that woman had been singing it and I were the noble, she'd have been out on her petticoated behind very shortly and get me somebody that can sing rather than that
They were
sound.
attempting to do an operatic version of it. almost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kind of operatic.
That was not very good. Okay. Okay. Popular music, street music. This is the kind of music that uptimers would be comfortable with, would be familiar with. So if that's what they're familiar with, what they're comfortable with, if church chorales are the kind of thing they're comfortable with, they're used to singing, what are they going to adapt to first? What are they going to assimilate first? Older hymns
Yeah.
are going to be probably the first things that they start picking up on, particularly out of the Lutheran traditions, and Virginia's already noted that in at least one story. But believe it or not, this would probably go pretty quickly.
Mandolin.
They had the mandolin last.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if they had this strumming style, but they might have.
They can pick it up and everything.
Yeah.
What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear.
We already know
Stop.
The vocal harmony internal to that sample, however.
Yeah, that is a little more complicated than they're used to. There were some harmonic chords in that
And
structure.
some stress. Yeah.
That's different from what they're used to. And the melody actually is a little more adventurous than they're used to. But that is something they could reach that. They could see that. They could, within a relatively short period of time, you could hear that happening in their churches. You could hear songs like that coming in. Particularly the songs that had religious texts like that.
And with
And,
simple
and
chord.
also, one thing that is going to happen is that in a lot of these cases, they're going to grab the melody and harmonize it themselves.
That's why,
the way they
yeah,
like it.
exactly. With a different chord, but the same melody.
What, we have a lot of very traditional Christmas carols, some of which go back a lot longer than this period. Are they going to recognize or feel comfortable with those? Or I'm not talking about Rudolph. Okay.
Anything that is sourced in the period, they will probably adapt, unless it's had a modern harmonization done
Right.
that is radically different from what they're used to hearing. I mean, you hear complaints in churches today where the music minister has taken the standard hymn melody and has put a new jazzy chord arrangement under it, and the people can't sing the 4-part harmony under it because it doesn't match anymore. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people muttering about that.
How does he expect us to see?
Yeah. So that kind of thing, they'll start relating to. What else will they? Man,
So that song you just played, that is from the 16?
No,
No.
it's from modern. He's saying this is something they in the the downtimers will
okay.
really like,
Yeah.
or will be able to adapt to sooner.
Yeah,
Okay.
the first 3 songs were from the time.
Okay.
Now we're listening to things that I think they will begin to assimilate fairly quickly.
I see.
For certain values of quickly, not necessarily overnight. And despite Butch, I don't think jazz, New Orleans jazz is going to be overnight.
Yeah,
Okay. So what else are they going to relate to? Simple folk music.
folk songs.
And we're in the Appalachians. These people know folk music.
Oh, yeah.
They have zithers.
Yeah. Appalachian-based folk music is gonna, that's got a strong foundation of Irish and Scottish music. This is something that they're going to relate to fairly quickly. And some of the music that we have that plays off of that, I think will assimilate fairly quickly, like this one.
There's a young cowboy who lives on the range. His horse and his cattle are his only companions. He works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyon,
Michael Martin Murphy.
waiting for summer, his pastures to change.
But that sound is going to be new to him.
The fiddle in the back.
No, the steel guitar.
Some of it's fiddle too.
Glasses of beer, closing his eyes as the doggies retire. He sings out a song which is soft, but it's clear, as if maybe someone could hear. Good night, you moonlight ladies. Rock-a-bye, sweet baby Jane. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my green? And rock-a-bye, sweet baby Jane.
I should have cut that one short, but I just like the song.
What's not to like?
What's not to like? Well, we probably get downtimers to tell us.
Yeah, I mean, that one's going to resonate on several levels. First of all, musically, it's similar to the kind of thing they're used to listening to. I mean, it's advanced. There's some advanced harmonies in there. There's definitely some instruments they're not used to hearing.
The steel
But
guitar, yeah.
yeah, that's still a sound. That's still something they could begin to assimilate fairly quickly.
They had ballads. There's lots of ballads.
And one of the things that would be a factor in that is the fact that you go back to the poetry of the time, how many songs and poems do you find about shepherds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's out tending cows out somewhere in the hills. The subject matter is going to be something that a lot of them are going to kind of resonate with. So that kind of song, whether it's James Taylor or whether it's Peter, early Peter, Paul and Mary, whether it's Pete Seeger, whether it's Woody Guthrie, that kind of folk music is first of all, I think there's going to be some of it in Granville.
There's going to be a lot of it in Granville, especially the Guthrie and Seeger stuff, because that's all Union songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So these guys, this is music that this
Maybe not as much
style
Dylan, but-
is the kind of music I think they'll start to assimilate fairly quickly and assimilate first.
Question for you.
Yeah.
John Henry. How do you think that would resonate with
The folk song, John Henry.
folk song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably fairly well melodically. That one jumps around a little bit, and that
It has a little more African background than.
couple of
Some of
interesting intervals in the melody that might take them a little while to get used to, but that one would adapt fairly quickly. Yeah. Okay.
Particularly since you can call it back and forth. And they called back and forth at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there might be surprises along the way in what they might enjoy listening
Temper tantrum.
Oh, yeah, my computer's not working. Come on, play the song. Shouldn't be a factor. It should
Until
be.
it comes on call songs. When I was little, people my grandparents' age, born in the 1860s, 1870s, would still get together at the
My
local
destiny is not
schoolhouse
cooperating.
and call songs back and forth a cappella. Reuben, Reuben, I've been thinking what a grand world this would be if the men were all transported far beyond the northern sea. And then we'd come back with Rachel, Rachel, I've been thinking, you know, and they'd hit one another with those things, and those call songs would go on for 3-4 hours. They just sit there and sing it to one another.
Oh, I heard John Henry done, oh, I want to say Roanoke, as a call song.
All hail to the days that matter more praise than all the rest of the year.
That's the first one.
Nights and double delights as well.
That's the first one we listened to.
That was the first one. Okay, so you wanted this one.
There's a reason they were big.
I can see the pub singer in the beer scuba with his hat.
Yeah, I mean, that, obviously they won't reproduce the full rock band sound.
No.
But the melody of that song is very simple, it's very straightforward, it bounces, it's a lot of fun. They could pick that up. Early Beatles, early rock music, melodically, most of it is simple.
Well, it's only
Harmonically,
four
most
chords.
of it is not very complicated.
If you can learn it in a garage, you know.
3 chords and a beat.
Yeah, three chords and a 4 count, and you're off and running. Stuff like that could get picked up. Now, I'm not going to say they're all going to get picked up, but it's a possibility.
I feel better about Godspell now.
No, I need the. Go to the presentation.
This sounds pretty nice.
You like the air handler?
Silence.
Oh, I don't see it as silence. I always hear the rumble of the air
When was
handler.
Handel?
Handel
Handel
was
is contemporaneous with Bach.
Okay.
so